What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we're going to tackle a question that I've been asked many times since getting the car paint protection film. And that question is, how much does this cost? And we're going to tackle that question. Also, we're going to tackle a question is it worth it? So I actually brought this car over to Your Motor Performance, and Dwayne, the owner there, actually was able to inspect it. And he was actually pretty surprised of how well the team at Hugh's Detailing did on making sure that this was seamless. So again, when you want something seamless, you have to go kind of custom, and you have to pay a little bit more for that. In my personal opinion, I think it's obviously well worth it. So let's jump into the car and let's dive into exactly how much it costs, and also answering the question is it worth it? So before we even talk about the price, there's a few questions that you should ask yourself. One of those questions is, does rock chips, do swirl marks, does the possibility of somebody keying your car, all those things, does it take into place with how you drive your car, how you want to park the car in public? Does that bother you? For me personally, I consider myself, I guess, somewhat OCD. Like, I like my car pristine. The car gets weekly washes, even when it's not like completely dirty. And that's just how I am, my personality. If you guys are watching this, you may not relate to this, or you guys may watch this and you're relating to exactly what I'm saying. Just remember, everybody has a different choice in life. Everybody has a different opinion. So it's very different when you look at somebody else's perspective, but this is my perspective. In my personal opinion, I think it's absolutely worth it. I just paid X amount of money for this car, which we'll get into another video. And this car isn't cheap. This car is an expensive car. This is a BMW G80 M3. Obviously, this is not the competition where it's excess over almost $100,000. So this being my first brand new M car, and also being one of the last non-hybrid M3s out there, it's special to me. And also knowing the fact that if a rock chip or swirl marks, things like that, would get onto the car, it bothers the hell out of me. You know, for example, on my F80 M3, I'd be driving the car and then getting to my destination or washing the car after the fact, I notice a huge rock chip or things like that, or something that scratched it. It kind of ruined that day for me. And that's just how I am. If you guys can relate to this, let me know in the comments. I know some of you guys are probably thinking like, this guy's taking it too extreme, but that's just me. I like to keep my stuff pristine. There's people out there that basically lease cars and, you know, they turn in within 2-3 years. That's on them. This is not leased, this is financed. So I really plan on keeping this car for the long term. I really think this is a special car, especially with the interior, and this being the last, like I said, non-hybrid M3. I guess as we get into time and further into life, we're gonna see that these M cars are gonna be hybrids and also eventually just fully electric. And that's the scary part, you know? So if I really love this car and I wanna preserve it and I wanna keep it the way that I wanna keep it, I'm gonna paint protection film the whole car. So when you really look at the overall process of what they did, and also you take into account to exactly what I'm about to tell you about the price, some of you guys may be shocked, some of you guys may think it's pretty ridiculous, but the amount of man hours that went into exactly what they did as a team, and also the amount of man hours they did with prepping the car, as you saw in that video. They basically deconned the car, they chemically deconned the car, they physically deconned the car with clay bar. And also, if you guys didn't know, a brand new car is never perfect. As you saw in the video, the preparation video, the paint was pretty rough. You know, there were some areas where it needed stage 2, as in the rear bumper. The rear bumper was pretty rough, where I guess from factory or even at the Performance Delivery Center, something happened where they either polished it too much and they didn't finish it with a smooth, I don't know what you want to call it, but they never finished it properly. And when you looked at it under a fine light or certain angles, you could see all those swirl marks in it. To me, I was pretty surprised about that. And also, for something that you guys understand too, a car that's brand new is never 100% perfect. So when you look at all the preparation and also the in-depth process where they basically take off the trims, they take off the emblems, and they really take their time on laying this film down. So you need to look at all that. They did a really good job. The team at Hugh's Detailing, Brandon, this guy's a wizard when he comes to laying film down. I saw the whole process and I was pretty shocked. So I was pretty mesmerized of exactly how he put this film on and made it almost invisible when it went on. So if you guys seen that video, definitely I'll link all the videos down in the description so you can kind of understand exactly what I'm about to say about the price. All right, guys, I'm interrupting this video to thank our sponsors, and that's Simply Carbon Fiber. And you guys already know Simply Carbon Fiber has been always a sponsor of this channel. And what they do is they produce high quality carbon fiber accessories. One of my favorite accessories is definitely the phone case. The phone case I had before this was pretty rough. It was banged up and wasn't holding up pretty well. It was an Amazon phone case, what can you expect? But as you can see from this is high quality. It's held up pretty well. I've definitely beat this up at the last Invasion of the Poconos and also Impact. If you want to pick up anything from their website, you can use this discount code right over here, and I'll leave a link down in the description. Now let's jump back into the video and also discuss exactly how much this paint protection film would have cost you. So when you look at the price, you need to take into account of everything, right? So today's price, right? So if you're watching this video a year from now, a couple months from now, things may change because the cost of material, the cost of raw goods, and also the cost of labor, everything changes throughout time. Nothing is fixed unless you get like a fixed interest rate with, housing and things like that. But when you look into what it costs today, and today's the end of August 2022, the total cost will range anywhere from $8,000 to about $8,500. So that may sound like a really expensive price, but you need to think about exactly what they did, the amount of man hours. This took about maybe a week and a half to get it all done. But when you also think about industry standards, this is industry standards where this is roughly about the same price. Some places may charge you a little bit less, like $6,500 for the whole car, $5,000. But you need to ask yourself, what are they doing? Are they taking off the trim pieces? Are they even priming the paint protection film? As you saw in the video, they primed the paint protection film. And what that did was it just amplified the gloss off the film, which kind of allowed the ceramic coating to thrive on it. And you looked at it, and to this day, right now it's a little dusty because of the construction that's going on in my condo. And it looks amazing still with the coat of dust, and still when I wash it, it looks so good. And what it does with the ceramic coat and paint protection film, it makes the car look always wet. It makes it look pristine, which is, for me, something that I love, because I'm very detail oriented. So when you look at other places that compare to what they charge for this service, you need to ask yourself what they do. Do they even take out the side moldings to really tuck the film in there to hide the seams? Because as you guys heard in the previous videos, my F80 M3 was paint protection film in the front of the car, but that shop I went to, which will stay nameless today, there was corners cut. It wasn't a custom fitted paint protection film. And what happened was, on the side of the emblems where it said M3, you saw the dust that went in between, and also it started lifting. So for me, on an Austin yellow car, it's very pronounced. You could see the dirt in there. And there's other people out there, if you have a light colored car and they do the seams around, you'll eventually start looking. If you guys check this out in the next car show, you see that somebody's paint protection film, next time look at a light colored car and you'll see the dirt around it. That for me is going to bother the hell out of me, especially when I'm cleaning the car. Also, you're prepping it for a car show, things like that. So you really need to look at exactly what the workmanship is and also of what you're getting. All right, here's what I can honestly say. Is it worth it, right? So in the beginning of the video, you had to ask yourself, if these things bother you and it's going to ruin your day, it's going to ruin your, your sense of ownership of the car, then maybe it is. But for me, I honestly think it's worth it. Now I have a peace of mind when I park my car in a random parking lot, or when I'm taking long road trips. I don't have to worry about, rock chips, sandblasting from other trucks. I don't have to worry about, if I put different wheels on the car with spacers, and if I put spacers on these current wheels, I don't have to worry about the rock chips destroying the side of my door or the rear bumper. But also you have to keep in mind too that paint protection film is not the end all. It could get defeated. So it could get defeated depending on how these rocks are. All these things have to take into account. But for me, it's a peace of mind. It allows me to be able to enjoy the car and not have to worry about those rock chips. Again, me saying these things, man, I guess, resonate with you. And if it doesn't, by all means, go ahead, just drive the car how you want it. But if this resonates with you, then you could kind of understand what I'm thinking, how my thought process is. And end of the day, for me, I think it's well worth it. And then you have to ask yourself, end of the day, is it worth it for you? That has to depends on your situation, if you're leasing the car, and all those things that has to take into account. One thing you should look at too is that, look, maybe wrapping the whole car is not for you. Maybe wrapping the whole car is just too extreme. Maybe the best thing for you to do is actually wrap the front of the car. That includes the hood, the headlights, the B-pillars, the front quarter panels, the front bumper. Maybe those things are the high impact areas where you should probably wrap your car. So when you wrap those portions of the car, obviously driving on the highway, those are the high impact areas because that's where all the abrupt rocks and sand that gets, I guess, impacted with your front of your car. Maybe those are the things you should look into. And from what I understand, to do the whole front clip is about $2,000. Anywhere from $1,800 to $2,000. So I've gotten many different quotes before, especially there was a well-known shop up in South Carolina. I'm gonna keep them nameless. I got quotes from them regarding the front clip, which basically means the hood, the front bumper, the driver's side and also passenger side, quarter panels, headlights, mirror covers. That's considered the front clip. I was quoted about $2,000 for that. I think maybe almost close to $2,200. So if you really think about that, that's just the front. That's about $2,000 to $2,200. But if you really think about how much work that goes involved to doing that, the doors, the trunk, the carbon fiber roof, all that together, then you can kind of see exactly why it costs $8,000 to $8,500. So you could kind of take that into account. Most places will charge you anywhere from, at the lowest end, $1,500 to about $2,000 for the front clip. But you have to realize you get what you pay for. That is the biggest thing with anything you can do. You get what you pay for. I personally would rather pay a little bit more to get the quality work done, because I'm telling you, the shop I went to get my F80 done, I was so upset. I wasn't thrilled about it, and there was nothing that I could do. I was trying to warranty it, but it just didn't work. Take my advice, do your research, look into these shops, maybe interview them over the phone, see their work in person before you commit, or verify from other people that are reputable. I listened to people when I got my F80 to friends that weren't really car guys or car girls, and they recommended this shop. So what happened was I got what I got. I also wanted to mention too, when you guys pay for the front clip of the car to get done, that really doesn't include ceramic coating. That doesn't include sometimes the paint protection film process where they decon the car. Because I could tell you this, the shop I went to that charged me about maybe $2,000, $1,800 for my F80, they've never polished the car. It was just a quick wash, maybe a little bit of clay bar, and then they filmed it on top of it. As we know, paint is never 100% before you put the film on. So if you really think about how much they did with the washing process, the preparation, and also applying the film, you can kind of see how it justifies to about $8,000 to $8,500. Again, the material itself is pretty expensive. It's not cheap stuff, and it's reputable. It's XPEL, XPEL Ultimate. So you could kind of look at those prices online. You can kind of maybe get an idea of what it costs for a whole roll. And from what I understand, to do a car like this size, it does take a whole roll of film, paint protection film. And I'm hoping this video kind of helps you guys out to kind of realize maybe you should or shouldn't do it, or maybe you should just save up a little bit more to get it done the right way. All right, so when you look at this car in person, you can kind of look at it. There's no seams everywhere. They custom cut this spoiler for the film on top of it. The rear taillights were taken out, and you can kind of see where they did this whole rear diffuser, and that was custom cut to make sure that the seams are not seen. And the most difficult part of wrapping a car is definitely the front grille. So if you guys ever get a chance to come see my car, you're not gonna be able to see the film on the car, which is pretty impressive. So I've been trying to make this video for quite a bit. I've been just so busy with the invasion of the Poconos, Impact 2022, and also got a big surprise that's gonna be announced next month, and I think you guys are all gonna enjoy it. And it's also gonna elevate this channel. So stay tuned for that announcement. But I'm hoping this video kind of gives you guys some clarification. Again, this may not be for all you guys, but if it does, if it makes sense to you, if you guys can relate to exactly how I think about things, then maybe it is for you. So other than that, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. We're almost at 8,000 subscribers, and I appreciate the support. The support from like the beginning to now has been so unreal, and I appreciate everybody that likes the video, comments the video, dislike the video. I appreciate that too. And other than that, I want to thank you guys again, and I'll see you guys on the next one.